Hello, Cal-HOSA. My name is Simon Moore, and I'm your state president for the 2017-2018 year. This year, the state officers decided to start hosting live sessions to connect with more members of Cal-HOSA. These live sessions will focus on topics which will enhance your experience as a HOSA member. Today, we will be introducing ourselves to you by answering basic questions so you can obtain a general idea of who we are. If you have any questions for us, please comment them on the side throughout the session and we will address them at the end. Now, here are the other state officers.
Hi everyone, my name is Neil Betty. I'm your California HOSA State Vice President. I'm going to be a senior this year at Dublin High School in Region 2.
Hi everybody, I'm Archita Padmanabhan. I'm your state parliamentarian. I'm also going to be a senior at Dublin High School in Region 2.
Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Gao and I am your Secretary Treasurer. I'm going to be a junior at Oxford Academy in Region 4.
Hey guys, my name is Christian Diana and I am your post-secondary state representative. I'm currently enrolled in North Orange County ROP, Region 4.
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine Sahota. I am your Region 1 Vice President. I'm a senior at Venture Academy in Region 1.
Hey guys, I'm Shannon Trevetti and I'm your Region 2 Vice President. I'm about to be a junior at Las Lomas High School in Region 2.
Hi everyone, my name is Jafreen Bangoot and I am your Region 3 Vice President. I am a senior at Zanuba High School in Region 3.
Hey guys, I'm Arya Joshi, a junior at Oxford Academy and the Region 4 Vice President.
Hi everyone, I'm Vivian Doe. I'm your Region 5 Vice President. I'm a senior at Apple Valley High School in Region 5.
So again, we are going to be discussing 8 talking points, which are just basic questions about us. And I'll start off with the first one, which is our favorite food. So look guys, if I could bequeath an oven-baked cheese pizza, I actually would. And I know, I've heard it before, like, OMG, cheese pizza is so plain, like, why not add anything else to it? Well, sometimes you just gotta think, what's wrong with being plain and basic, you know? I mean, it's just cheese pizza, that's my favorite.
So guys, from now on, you can all call me Nacho Neil. I absolutely love nachos. I mean, when the cheese and the chips and the veggies and the chicken all come together, it's really beautiful.
I gotta agree with Simon on this one. I absolutely love pizza, especially cheese pizza. And places like Blaze Pizza and Pieology have the best.
So I absolutely love acai bowls as a snack. They are so refreshing and delicious. I also love to eat sushi as a meal.
Great choices, guys. I absolutely love Japanese cuisine. I love going to different restaurants and trying out different types of dishes. My current favorite restaurant right now is Tsubaki. It's actually in LA. I went there during Dine LA, happens twice a year. And my friend and I had like a 4-course dinner, and each flavor was very exquisite. Like it didn't overpower each flavor, but rather it complemented each other, it resulted in like a very great tasting food.
I completely agree with Archita on this one. Pizza from Blaze and Pieology is absolutely amazing.
So personally, I love Thai fried rice, but I also have a sweet tooth, so I love anything that has chocolate in it.
I absolutely love pasta and pizza. If I could, I would eat pizza for a week straight.
Like everyone else here, I love pizza. If there wasn't any health problems associated with it, I would eat pizza every single day.
So my favorite food is sushi, and like Shayna, I have a major sweet tooth. Sweet are probably my favorite food group, as unhealthy as that sounds.
Christian, I'm sorry, I just gotta throw in there, you literally sound like a food connoisseur talking about how it didn't overpower the flavors and whatnot. I like that. So now for our second talking point, which is favorite TV shows. So my favorite TV show is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because that show is just a riot.
Now, given the fact that I watch so much Netflix, this is a tricky question to answer, but if I had to choose one, it would have to be Bill Nye Saves the World, and a second season is coming soon, so it's even better.
I absolutely love Grey's Anatomy. In my opinion, that's like the best show I've watched. But I also love to watch How I Met Your Mother, Friends, The Office, and Riverdale.
So in general, I don't watch that much TV, but over summer break, I did start watching some of The Office. But usually I'm more of a movie person.
I actually have a couple of shows that I like. I like Supernatural, Walking Dead, American Horror Story, Doctor Who, Stranger Things, House MD, and Scrubs.
My favorite shows are Voltron Legendary Defender, Bob's Burgers, Parks and Recreation, and Yuri on Ice.
So I definitely love to binge watch TV shows on Netflix. A few of my favorites are Riverdale, Stranger Things, Grey's Anatomy, and Friends.
Like a lot of the state officers, I absolutely love Grey's Anatomy. I've been watching it for a while now.
Look, guys, since I was 6 years old, my favorite show has been SpongeBob SquarePants. My second favorite show, I would say, is Drake and Josh. They're really funny shows.
So like everyone else, I absolutely love Grey's Anatomy, but I also watch shows like Arrow, DC Legends of Tomorrow, and Once Upon a Time.
You know, I gotta give it to you guys. Those of you out there who have the patience to be able to binge watch a show. I mean, I personally have never been able to do that. I just don't have that patience. Okay, so now for our third talking point, we're gonna be discussing our desired future careers. So my future career obviously involves the medical field, but more specifically, I would love to become a neurosurgeon. That's my dream career. It all started in 7th grade after I finished Dr. Ben Carson's book, Gifted Hands. It was actually an autobiography, and right when I read his book, it was just amazing to be able to read about someone who is in charge of such a paramount and intricate system, and just to be the person behind the surgery just sounds absolutely amazing.
As Simon mentioned, us being in HOSA, it means that most of us are interested in health professions. Personally, I would also like to be a surgeon. What kind yet, I'm not sure, but beyond that, I also want to use the knowledge that I've acquired through my education and help others learn about how science can help them.
In the future, I'd actually like to be a neurosurgeon as well, or any other type of surgeon. Over the summer, I had the privilege of interning with an amazing neurosurgeon from Memphis, Tennessee, and he taught me how to do a full craniotomy on a fetal pig, which I absolutely fangirled over. So neurosurgery is definitely one to keep in mind.
So for me, right now, I'm leaning towards healthcare administration, public health, or something in health policy. And the reason that I'm interested in these is because I'm really interested in science, and I think medicine and health is an amazing field, but I also have skills and interest in the business and organization side of things. So I think that a career in one of these three fields would be a really, really great way to merge my two interests and skill sets.
Right now, I'm aiming to be a registered nurse. Initially, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I graduated from high school. My parents saw that I didn't know what I wanted to do, so they suggested that I should do something related to the nursing field and see if I like it. Soon after, I started working at a nursing home as a CNA. Then years later, fast forward to the future, I'm actually still a CNA, but I'm working at Kaiser now. And I've been blessed working with a great team of healthcare professionals in Kaiser. Right now I'm also working to study my LVN and going for my RN and BSN right after.
I have always been interested in engineering, probably before I even knew what the word engineering meant. It always just fascinated me that you could transform something that existed naturally into something completely different. I also like the medical field because it had a much more direct impact on people's lives. Biomedical engineering is the perfect in-between.
So when I was 6, somebody casually suggested to me that a career in the medical field would be perfect for me, and that in that exact moment, I decided I would be a doctor when I grew up. As I got older, I also discovered my passion for helping people and medicine, and I discovered my passion for art. So I decided that a career as a surgeon would be ideal for me because it combines those two perfectly.
So I've wanted to become a neurosurgeon since I was in the 2nd grade. But then as I started growing up, I wanted to become a cardiologist. But then last year, I took psychology and learned more about the brain, and I want to be a neurosurgeon again.
My dream has always been to help people. Putting smiles on other people's faces, I believe, is above everything else. That's why I want to be a medical practitioner, preferably a cardiac surgeon. I want to become a doctor because I know that they help people get healthy lifestyles. I want to be a cardiac surgeon because I acknowledge the increasing heart risks, and I want to help those kind of people.
So as of right now, I want to go into pediatric neurology because I absolutely love little kids. They give me so much joy. I got really interested in neurology because of all the projects I did at school and an opportunity I had to job shadow a neurologist. It's just so interesting at how the brain controls every facet of our being, from our emotions to physiological changes.
So it's obvious that HOSA has definitely fueled our desire to pursue a career in the health field. Now, I hope that is the same for you guys. And if you have any friends who are interested in the medical field, make sure to just throw in the word of HOSA to hopefully spark their interest of joining. So now we're going to be talking about how our HOSA journey began. So my HOSA journey began actually with my father's recommendation. He told me about an organization where there are competitive events that pertain to healthcare, and all I had to hear were the two words healthcare and competition, and I was immediately interested. So that's how I started my HOSA journey.
My HOSA journey began here at Dublin High School with our Dublin High School Biomed Academy. Our first course in that class is Principles of Biomedical Sciences, and my teacher, Ms. Kames, was actually the advisor for HOSA, and she thought that it would be interesting for me to join the HOSA team at our school, and so I gave it a shot, and turns out I'd love it.
For me, I was also part of the Dublin High School Biomedical Academy, and we were actually some of the first students of that academy. So HOSA was also a really new club back then. So my teacher, Mrs. Sundstrom, encouraged me to join, and I've absolutely loved it since then.
So my HOSA journey began when I was in 7th grade. I joined JUMP. My school is both a junior high and a high school. So we had combined meetings, and we also had some just JUMP meetings. And honestly, I'm not sure how I had the courage to join. There were no other 7th and 8th graders. There were probably only like 2 or 3, but there were none that I knew. None of my friends were there, but I still felt really welcomed. And I'm so glad that I stuck with HOSA because after I went to my first SLC, I just fell in love with HOSA and what the organization meant and what I could do there. And I'm so glad I stuck with it because otherwise I wouldn't be where I am here today.
My HOSA journey started in 2016 when I got accepted in the VM program in Milkrop, Anaheim. I was interested in competing in various categories, not only to improve my set of skills, but to also represent my chapter in SLC. I competed in health education with a couple of my colleagues and in my chapter, and we received a gold medal for our presentation. And that's basically how I got started with HOSA.
I remember my freshman year of high school when I wanted to do an extracurricular, but I had no clue what to do. So my friend Jasleen suggested I join HOSA since I was interested in the medical field, and it was the best decision of my life.
So I joined HOSA in my freshman year of high school to introduce myself to careers in the medical field as soon as possible. And it's been amazing so far because not only have I learned about medicine, but I've made a bunch of new friends. Graduating and leaving my chapter in 2 years makes me really sad, but I do plan to be a part of the HOSA community in college and beyond.
So I first joined HOSA my freshman year. So at our school, I'm also part of the medical academy, and HOSA is already kind of integrated into it. So my freshman year, we did career display boards as a project for our class, and we ended up using that as our local competition and taking it to the state leadership conference. And that's basically how I was introduced to HOSA.
In 9th grade, I didn't know what HOSA really meant. All I thought was HOSA was something to do with the medical field. But then our biomedical instructor, Mr. Cuenca, introduced HOSA to our class and introduced me and our friends to medical innovations. My friends and I thought medical innovations was kind of cool, and we decided to join up. And after I started to go to the HOSA meetings, HOSA and its goal, and my HOSA journey started from there.
So even though I joined a HOSA in 9th grade, my HOSA journey actually began in 8th grade when students from the high school came to my middle school to talk about HOSA, teach some health and some first aid skills. And I was creating my very first tourniquet. I knew I wanted to be in HOSA. So I quickly turned in the application and jumped right into HOSA my freshman year. And I'm so glad I did because it's taught me so many medical skills, but it also grew me as a leader. It has absolutely changed my life.
All right, thank you guys for sharing those heartwarming stories. Just a quick reminder to our audience, make sure that you stop by on the YouTube chat and drop a couple questions down because we are going to get to them at the end. So if you're wondering anything about us personally or if you want to know anything about us as a team, just make sure that you ask it in the YouTube chat. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our next talking point, which is what does HOSA mean to us? Well, for me, HOSA is more than just an organization. I think HOSA is wonderful because it's a congregation of students from all different backgrounds, ethnicities, and so on and so forth. And we're able to all put those differences aside, any differences that we may have, and we're able to just focus on the one common goal, which is healthcare. And I think that's wonderful that despite any differences that we may have, we're still able to unite together and to focus on the one thing that we are truly passionate about, which is healthcare.
As Simon mentioned, HOSA is truly more than just an organization. I'm a big believer in the power of collaboration. In our culture, we have a saying that 1 and 1 makes 11. And I believe that, to solve the problems that our generation has, we need to learn to work together, especially in the health professions. And HOSA is that starting place for all of us where we can connect with one another and learn to work with one another so that we can solve these kinds of problems. Together we thrive.
I think that HOSA is an extremely loving community, almost as much as a family. And even though we all have different backgrounds, we have the same interests or similar interests. And so that makes us more supportive and inclusive as a group. Any HOSA event that I go to, I always feel included and I can always talk to anyone. And that's really, really great. And through that, I've made so many new friends and that pushes me to be a better self.
So since I've been in HOSA since 7th grade, I've grown so much and I've met so many of my new best friends and so many great mentors in HOSA, and I've learned about them in both a HOSA medical sort of academic way as well as a personal way. And I've also seen my own growth as my journey in HOSA progressed. So for me, HOSA is just a really supportive, inspiring, and fun community to be a part of where you can see yourself grow in so many ways that you wouldn't have ever thought of.
HOSA to me is an opportunity to improve myself and to work with like-minded individuals working together for a common goal.
HOSA helped me go from someone who was shy and had a hard time talking to people to someone who was better able to connect and communicate with them. HOSA also helped me find people who believe in my passions and support me.
So for me, HOSA has been a community where I not only get to discover my personal interests within medicine, but build connections with medically minded students from all over the state. And HOSA has helped me realize that a career in the medical field is an achievable goal for me to set for myself. And I'll always be thankful to this organization for that. HOSA has confirmed for me that practicing medicine and networking with brilliant minds and kind hearts from all over the world is exactly what I want to do with my life.
To me, HOSA is an opportunity to grow and learn. In the past 3 years since I've been in HOSA, I've learned how to do public speaking, be professional, and manage my time wisely. HOSA always gives you something new to learn, and that's what I love about this organization.
HOSA means something different for everyone. For me, HOSA is a stepping stone for future leaders and gives members the experience for their future and for their future careers.
Like a lot of the other state officers, I agree. HOSA is all about opportunity, whether it's the opportunity to compete, to learn, to make friends, or to grow as a leader. For me, it's been all of the above. HOSA is unique. It provides a safe place for even the shyest of members or even the most outgoing of them to participate in these same opportunities.
As Arya mentioned, HOSA does mean something else to everyone. And I hope that at the end of your year or years in HOSA, you too are able to come up with your own meaning of HOSA, because it truly is wonderful to have your own personalized meaning to it. So now we're going to go on to our next talking point, which is activities outside of HOSA. So outside of HOSA, I play the piano. I have been playing for 11 years, and I mostly play classical music. And it definitely has been my most effective stress reducer. And by the way, keep an ear out for the SLC talent show, because who knows, you might hear something.
Outside of HOSA, I'm active in about other health clubs on campus. And I also love to keep in touch with global policy, and I'm really active in speech debate. I spend a lot of my time doing community service, and I love to spend time with my friends and family.
Outside of HOSA, I'm a singer. So I started out singing Indian classical music as my mother trained me initially, and she's just been my biggest inspiration in music. But I've also been training in R&B music, and it's so soothing and it's amazing. Other than that, I was also an advanced treble choir member at Dublin High School last year. And I'm also a volunteer at MedShare, which is a local organization where we sort out and send out medical supplies to developing countries. I'm also a Girl Scout, so I absolutely love camping.
So outside of HOSA, I participate in a few other activities. I participate in journalism, so I'm the associate editor and the news editor for my school's newspaper. And I just love working with all the staff, helping edit and write articles, doing interviews, and meeting all these new people. And it's just a really amazing thing to do, and you get so many new perspectives. I also dance competitively. I've been doing ballet and some contemporary work since I was about 5 or 6 years old. So I'm going into my 11th year this year. I dance for about 10 hours a week, sometimes a little bit more for rehearsals. And even though it's a lot of hard work and it gets super stressful, I absolutely love it, and I think it pays off so much. Just the rush of being able to perform on stage and having worked so hard and knowing that you did something amazing is just, it's wonderful. Other than that, I love to read in my free time. I also volunteer at a nearby hospital.
Besides going to school Monday to Friday and working on the weekends, I go to the gym about 4 times a week. I discipline myself to go even when I'm feeling unmotivated. I also go bouldering, and I also play Pump It Up from time to time.
In my free time, I like watching documentaries, analyzing songs and their lyrics, and recently I've been doing Krav Maga and kickboxing classes.
So outside of HOSA, I have been a volunteer and the shift manager at Kaiser Permanente for 2 years now. I'm also a Girl Scout, which I've been for 11 years, and I'm about to start working on my Gold Award. If everything goes according to plan, I'll have that done by the end of this school year. And I love art, so I'm always drawing and painting in my free time, and I'm constantly working on building up my portfolio on my website.
So outside of HOSA, I am a student representative on our district's Health and Wellness Committee. I am also a part of our school's academic decathlon team, and I am the academic chairperson for our Accept program, which emphasizes on academics, culture, and the community.
Besides academic extracurriculars, I love to play soccer. Soccer is very important to me because I have been playing soccer since I was 6 years old with my friends. I'm on the junior high varsity. I'm on the junior varsity team for my high school, and I also play with my friends whenever I'm bored. I go to the park and play with them whenever I get free time for my homework, and just have a great time.
So outside of HOSA, I volunteer with my local hospice chapter, which is such a humbling experience. I'm also the vice president for our National Honor Society. I also absolutely love playing guitar and singing. Music is just so mesmerizing. There's a challenge about learning a new song and making it your own. Plus, it's a great stress reliever. And like Simon, maybe you'll see something at our talent show this year.
I'm sure everyone will be looking forward to it, Vivian. So now it's time for one of my favorite talking points, which is our biggest influences or our role models. My biggest influence and my role model is undoubtedly my father, who also goes by the name of Simon Moore. He's Simon Peter Moore. I'm Simon Thomas Moore. Please just try not to get us mixed up because it happens more often than we like. But yes, my father is my role model because he grew up in an environment that honestly no child should have to grow up in, but he still managed to persevere and to make it out of that environment, and he ultimately ended up successfully raising 5 boys. And throughout our whole lives, he's encouraged us to chase our dreams, but the entire time he's managed to also chase his own. He's truly given me a different perspective on life, and he tends to keep me in check when I seem as if I'm going down the wrong path, or he just always makes sure that I'm staying in line with what I'm doing. 3 characteristics that I've definitely picked up from him are honesty, perseverance, and my favorite one, which is learning how to make pretty much anything fun. So yes, my father is undoubtedly my role model.
For me, my parents are certainly my greatest role models. They've been with me literally since day one, and they've always been with me telling me, right from wrong, good from bad. And I've always really appreciated their sense of support. They've always been with me no matter what happened. Also, my teachers have been great influences in my life, especially my first biomed teacher, Ms. Kames, and my biomed teacher from last year, Dr. Sundstrom. They've both helped me develop my passion for science and shown me what science can really do.
So for me, my greatest influences will always be my parents. They've taught me how to deal with the difficulties of life, but they've also pushed me to work my hardest in anything I do. Other than that, my teachers, Mrs. Sundstrom and Mrs. Keynes, are also my greatest influences, as they've taught me how to follow my dreams and really work with passion, and I wouldn't be here without their endless support.
My greatest influence has been my dad. He has taught me to be innovative and to follow my passions and my dreams and to do what I think is going to make a difference in the world. He's demonstrated this own kind of behavior in his own work, left his job to start a company that he thought was truly going to make a difference. And he always pushes me to go out and do the things that I think are important rather than just focusing on what everyone else is saying.
One of the biggest influences that I had in my life is moving out of my parents for the first time. And it taught me a lot of things about what it's like to live on my own and being independent and whatnot. Most of all, it taught me the value of what I took for granted when I was still living at home. Like one time I remember that when I got home from work one time, I opened the fridge and it was just empty. Like it never occurred to me that I had to go, like someone had to go to the store and buy stuff until I moved out.
My biggest influences are my parents. They faced a lot of difficulties throughout their lives, and neither of them got to study as much as they'd like to. But they worked really hard to make sure that me and my sister don't have to go through that, and they use everything as a learning experience and still continue to grow.
So my mom is my role model in everything that I do. Growing up in India, she faced countless obstacles on her way to becoming a successful woman, and she never gave up or let her mistakes define her. My grandpa has also been a huge role model to me. He was a surgeon in India for many years, and he told me that I would be an amazing surgeon if I chose to follow that path too. And my grandpa was not one to compliment people often, so when he told me that, it made me very proud. When he passed it away, I made it my goal to be the best surgeon I could possibly be, not just for myself, but for him.
So my biggest role model is my mom. She's my biggest supporter and the strongest person I know, and I really hope to be like her in that sense.
My biggest role model, I would say, is Mahatma Gandhi. His moral values played a significant role in realizing my dreams and goals.
So after a second grade project where I had to take on her persona, I would have to say my biggest influence would have to be Helen Keller. She shows that no matter what obstacles you are faced, because she was both deaf and blind, you can still be a great advocate for people. She is such a reminder that no matter what cards you are dealt, you still have an opportunity to make an impact on the world.
So this now brings us to our final talking point, which is what we look forward to this year in HOSA and why. So again, I hope you guys have been leaving questions in the comment section for our YouTube live session, because we will get to them very shortly. So what I look forward to most is this right here, these live sessions, and definitely future live sessions as well. I think that this truly does enhance the affiliation between us as state officers and you as the members, and I hope this makes it to where we're a little more personable. And if you guys ever have any questions and want to contact us directly, we're all on Instagram, and you can find us on the Cal-HOSA page, and we're all very willing to communicate with the Cal-HOSA members. After getting elected, I actually met a lot of amazing people, and I made a lot of friends that I truly will cherish for a lifetime. So I definitely look forward to live sessions like these, because I hope that they do enhance the affiliation between us and you as the members, and I hope that you guys enjoy these as well.
Kind of like Simon said, you know, this year is really an opportunity for me to get to know not only all of Cal-HOSA members, but the new members that are coming into our school as well. I'm also really excited to get everyone involved in more awareness events and fundraising for NAMI. Our officer team has taken a great responsibility in helping all of Cal-HOSA get really involved in that. And of course, I'm really looking forward to meeting you all at SLC.
So I'm also actually looking forward to seeing a lot of member and chapter involvement this year in Cal-HOSA. After talking to a lot of you guys at SLC, you guys all voiced that you want to connect with us a little bit more, and we hope that this live session idea will really help you guys get to know us more and trust us, and so that you don't only see us on stage, like Simon said. But other than that, we also want to see you guys raise a lot of awareness and money for NAMI, as popping the stigma is really, really important.
So I'm just really excited to see all the chapters getting involved in HOSA's mission, whether that be through going to this conferences such as RLC and SLC, participating in the National Service Project, or doing their own chapter events, because not everyone is able to make it to the conferences. But most of all, I'm looking forward to NAMI participation. I would love to see people going to NAMI walks, raising money for NAMI, participating in the social media challenges, and just overall raising awareness about mental illness.
I'm really looking forward to raising awareness for NAMI. Like, I strongly believe that this needs to be addressed simply because it's something that people should not be afraid of. There's a stigma that that's because you have mental illness that you'll be treated unfairly, and which can lead to their illness to worsen, basically.
This year, I look forward to connecting with the members and helping them connect with others as individuals, chapters, and regions. I also look forward to our participation with NAMI, since I too am very passionate about mental health.
So personally, I'm looking forward to our upcoming live sessions this year. I feel like they'll give the officers and the members a chance to get to know each other a little bit before SLC. I'm also looking forward to seeing how much money we raise for NAMI.
So I'm really looking forward to using social media as a way to reach out to those who can't go to SLC or the RLCs. I think it's very important that everyone has a chance to be a part of the HOSA family, and hopefully we can also achieve that through these live streams.
Well, guys, this year I'm looking forward to enhanced communication between Cal-HOSA and the chapters. I believe stronger communication paves a path to a brighter future. I think using social media and other platforms to help increase awareness, NAMI, volunteering, and scholarships. I look forward to the progress that we make this year.
So for this year, I'm super excited for our social media projects because our goal is to bring HOSA to you, to all the members, even the ones who can't attend RLC or SLC. We want to make it a place of collaboration as well as advertising for other chapters. Mental health is also something that is really personal to me. It is also such a prevalent issue. So I'm excited for our future service opportunities because I want Cal-HOSA to make an impact. We also have this super secret project that we've been working on, and we're so excited for it. We're going to be announcing it very soon, so stay tuned on our social media pages as well as future live sessions for it.
Audience, it is time. It is time to answer your guys' questions. So I hope that, you know, we have a good amount to go through, because I hope you guys are having as much fun as I imagine we all are. So we're just going to jump right into it. And oh, quick disclaimer. If I mispronounce your username or your actual name, I sincerely apologize. I am trying my best. Okay, so right off the bat, here's an automatic mispronunciation, I imagine. So we have a question from Nocturnal Avarice, which asks, why pizza? And I think we'll have Jasmine and Archie answer this one.
Pizza is something that's like a part of pretty much everyone's childhood. And it's also a really global food. No matter where you go, you'll probably find pizza there, even if they have like completely different toppings. And it also tastes really good.
Guys, no words can describe my love for pizza. Like Jasmine, I think pizza has been a big part of our childhood, and I feel like for me it was like love at first sight. If you guys believe in true love for me is in pizza. So that's my response.
True love exists because I've had the same encounter with pizza, Archie, definitely. So now we're gonna go on to the next question, which is from Alice Wong, which is, have you guys heard of the drama The Good Doctor? ABC is making a remake soon. Jasmine, we'll have you answer this one, if you can.
I have heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Although I'll probably be watching the original and the remakes.
All right, nice, thanks. So we have a question from Sophia Gonzalez, which asks, how can our chapters get more involved in NAMI? Oh, this is a great question. Amanda, I think you can take this one away.
All right, Sophia, that is an awesome question. So NAMI is actually a really big focus for our team this year. We'd love to see all the chapters getting more involved in NAMI. And one way that you can do this is participating in the NAMI walks. So your advisors will actually be getting information on that this week. So make sure to ask them or just look out for that information as it comes, as well as on all the California HOSA social media pages. We'll be putting up some posts about the NAMI walks, about where they are and just how they work and how you can get involved. So another great thing that you can do is fundraise. Our state officer team will be sending out some information about fundraising as well. It will be the topic of one of our future live streams, and we'll also be making some posts on social media just to give you guys some ideas. So yeah, again, we'd love to see everyone getting more involved in NAMI, and we hope that the information that we're giving you this year is going to help out with that.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Okay, so now we have a question from Aravind Ulagapan, which asks, to all the officers, what are some of the topics you guys will cover in future live sessions? I'm sorry, Arav, we have to actually cut down. We have to make sure that we're time efficient, so I think I'll just have Archie to answer this one.
All right, so for future lives, as Amanda mentioned, one of ours will be talking about NAMI and how to fundraise for it, as well as how to fundraise for your own chapters. We'll also be covering leadership. Since we're all going to the Washington Leadership Academy, we're going to be learning a lot of new things, which we'd like to share with you all. We will also be going over SLC, what you need for SLC, and any questions you may have. So similar to this session, it'll be kind of like a Q&A session where you can send us in your questions about SLC and we'll answer them throughout the session. And then of course, we'll give you our thanks in our final live session.
Thank you, Archita. Yes, there definitely will be future live sessions, so be sure to stay tuned. So another question from Nocturnal Avarice, which is, Simon, what kind of hair product do you use? Well, first off, thank you for noticing. I actually use Suavecito, which is a gel, and I use a hairspray. It's like a golden bottle. It's like a golden tube, actually. And I'm so sorry. I don't know the name of it. I think it's by Pantene. I don't know. But anyways, the main product is Suavecito, which is the gel. So yeah, again, thank you for noticing. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next question from Nate, which is, what are you guys doing? What are you guys going to add or change this year in HOSA? And I think we'll have Shayna, Arya, and Jeffreen answer this one.
Hey Nate, so one of the main things we're going to be adding this year is the concept of the live session. We're going to be covering various topics, and hopefully it'll help the members connect a little bit more with the officers and also be more informed on what's going on with Cal-HOSA.
As you guys have noticed, we're constantly updating our social media. We post weekly posts, and we keep you guys informed. So that's something that we really strive for this year, is to build a connection between the state and the chapters.
So another thing that we're trying to do this year is get chapters more involved with NAMI. And so like Amanda mentioned before, we're going to be having a live stream that's just focused on fundraising for NAMI. So make sure to tune in for that. And we'll also be putting up some information on our social media pages.
Okay, we have a very important question coming up because two people were interested to know the answers to this one. So it's from Nocturnal Avarice and Sunny Verk. Neil Betty, what is your favorite kind of cheese and what toppings do you like on your nachos? This is a big question, Neil. You better give them an answer they want to hear.
First of all, thank you to the both of you. These are both very important questions, and I'm glad we're addressing this head on. So for cheese in general, I would have to say pepper jack cheese or pesto Gouda cheese. But if it's on nachos, there's like a Mexican triple blend that I usually get on my nachos. And in terms of toppings for nachos, it depends on the day. Usually there will always be chicken. And different kind of vegetables. You can't go overboard with any of it, but you gotta like make sure you have just enough of a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that sounds scrumptious. We gotta have nachos someday together. I'm telling you, we have to. Okay, so we have a question from Arvind Ulagapan. He says, Simon, what nicknames do you go by? Okay, there are a good amount. So a lot of them, okay, so there's Sims. My brother calls me Sims. There's Simon Thomas. Like, that's not really a nickname, but my family calls me Simon Thomas. From my mom's side, my dad's side calls me Baby Simon because there's an older Simon, but they also call me Little Simon. And then my really good friend, for some reason, I don't know how this got affiliated with me. I think it's just my love for pizza. My nickname is Pizza. Like, they literally call me Pizza sometimes. So yeah, those are just a couple of my nicknames. Okay, so another question from Aravind Ulagapan. He asks, Shayna, what type of art do you like to do?
Hi, Art. So I like to do a lot of different kinds of art. I think I love to draw. So whether I'm using like crayons, color pencils, pastels, but my absolute favorite medium is painting. So I like watercolor, but I think my absolute favorite would be acrylic.
Oh, nice, nice. Sounds fancy. Okay, so we have a question from Melissa Valdez, which is, Simon, is it true you play Claire de Lune, and what is the chance of you playing that this year for the HOSA talent show? Okay, Melissa, I do play Claire de Lune. I love that song very much, but it is not going to be, if I do, yeah, I will perform at SLC, but that will not be the song. I'm sorry, but it will be another classical piece, but not Claire de Lune. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have a question from Magna, and I'm just gonna say Magna. Okay, it's directed towards Archita and Neil, and it asks, "Are you guys performing at the SLC talent show this year?"
So for those of you who don't know, Neil and I actually did Indian dancing at last year's talent show, and I think we did a really good job. So if all goes well, you might be able to see us do Indian dancing at the talent show next year, or I'm planning on singing this year at the talent show, so be on the lookout.
And like Simon mentioned earlier, there might be something else special in store for you all at the talent show this year at SLC.
Archita, you don't even have to think if you guys did a good job. You guys did a good job. Trust me. So we have a question from Austin Escobar, which is, what's your favorite quote? And I think we'll have Christian, Amanda, and Jeffreen answer this one.
My favorite quote would be, let's see. It's actually one of my friends. He actually just told me earlier, and we were talking about basically like fitting in. And it's actually on, I'm gonna read my phone real quick. But basically, like, don't let the world mold you into something that you're not. Don't let it make you feel sorry for who you are. Know that you can be who you want to be. Because what the world thinks are flaws are who you are and what makes you special. I'm like you and we're all like each other. So basically, that's what it is. And like, just be yourself, guys. And if you ever like be in a situation where you don't feel like it's gonna change you, just be yourself.
So one of my favorite quotes is, never underestimate the power of passion. I think that being passionate about the things you do is one of the really important characteristics that everyone should have. And I think that it's a really important driving force behind whatever you're trying to accomplish. And I think that if you're passionate about what you do, you're just going to be a lot happier, and everything that you do is going to be a lot more enjoyable, and you're just going to feel a lot better about yourself.
So my favorite quote is, the key to success is hard work and determination. I'm a strong believer that talent can only go so far. I feel like hard work and determination is the ultimate deciding factor in success.
Wonderful, thank you guys. So we actually have another question from Austin Escobar, which asks, what gets you all up in the morning? And we'll have Jasmine, Aria, Neil, and Archita answer this one.
The fact that I have the ability to make a positive impact on someone's life is what gets me up in the morning, no matter how small the impact.
Every day when I wake up, I think of what impacts that I will make that day and how I can progress as a person. So every day when I wake up to looking forward to something that I'll be doing that helps me build on my character and make someone's day a little bit more better.
Austin, that is certainly an excellent question. I think that every day when you wake up in the morning, you have a purpose of some kind, right? Like, why are you getting up out of bed in the morning? Because everyone loves to sleep. And for me, that purpose is like, Jasmine and Aria said, it's to make an impact. I mean, the time that we have here, when we're around our friends, when we're around our family, it's really to do the best that you can, be the best you that you can be. And like they say, make a positive impact, because that's all we can really do. And that's all that we leave. And so every day I get up in the morning and I know that that's what I need to focus on, and I get forward with my day.
So for me, I actually have two responses, my physical response and my emotional response. Emotionally, I have to agree with everyone else on making a positive impact on my community. Also, I strive to be a better self each day. So each day I have like motivational quotes up, and I just like push myself to be better, because there's always room for improvement. And physically, lots of coffee and lots of loud music, because sometimes I struggle, but loud music, upbeat music, and coffee always gets me going.
Thank you guys for sharing. Okay, we do have 4 more questions left. So we are coming to an end. And if you guys have any more questions, then please drop them in the comment section, because I truly do want to have myself and the rest of the state officer team answer your guys' questions. So for our next question is from Nocturnal Avarice. By the way, thank you for all these questions. It's honestly wonderful. So he asks, Christian, how do you feel working with the younger people? And that's actually a really good question.
Next question. No, I'm kidding. It's refreshing. It's very refreshing, actually. It's like it's a really good change of pace, because like where I'm working at right now, I'm working with a lot of older people, whereas like new people, they have more innovations in my perspective. That's why I like working with younger people, because they have a lot of new things and they're very energetic.
Christian, right when I asked that, I knew you were going to roast us in some way. I just knew it, and I was correct. So we have another question from Lisa Tang, which asks, what is your advice for new HOSA members and JUMP members? And I think I'll have Jasmine and Aria answer that one.
So my advice for new HOSA members and JUMP members is to try to get as involved as you possibly can with the activities going on. Try to get involved with NAMI and try to get to know your chapter officers and advisors and other adults who are working with your HOSA chapter better.
My advice is to try new things. You never know what you like unless you try it. So if you think that you just are capable of doing one event, try to do other events. Try to go to other workshops and other activities that HOSA has to offer, and develop your character and see what you guys are actually interested in and what you guys actually have the opportunity to do.
That was good advice, guys. Thank you. So now for our next question, which asks, Amanda and Simon, what are your favorite types of ice cream? Okay, so Amanda, go ahead.
So this is actually a really funny question. I'm actually allergic to all dairy, so I have never had real ice cream in my life. But I have tried soy ice cream, but it wasn't that good. I don't really recommend it. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite.
Well, I can for sure say that strawberry is my favorite type of ice cream. I really love strawberry, and honestly, Neapolitan's fine too. I've heard some bad reviews about it because people hate how, it's like 3 ice creams combined in one. But personally, I think it's fine. So I think strawberry and Neapolitan are probably my favorite ones. Okay, so we have actually our final question, which is from Lisa Tang. And I'll actually have all of the officers answer this one, and we'll just go in the same order that we went for our talking points. The question is, what's your favorite part about being a state officer? Well, I've been in HOSA for 3 years now. This is going to be my 4th year. I've been in HOSA since I was a freshman, and every single year I would see the state officer team up on stage and I'd marvel at them, because I never imagined myself being able to be up on that stage, and I was always so timid to approach them and to contact them, because I looked at them as like these oracles, like these very these wonderful people, which they are, but I just felt like they were just untouchable. I couldn't reach out to them. And I think my favorite part is engaging in opportunities like these, and hopefully future conversations with other HOSA members, like I also had during the meet and greet when we were campaigning at SLC. It's times like those that I truly love, that make me love being a state officer, because I actually get to interact with people, and I hope that I'm conveying myself as personable. My favorite part is to kind of switch around what I initially thought of state officers, which is like they're untouchable and they can't be contacted because they're just so high up there. But the thing is, we're just like every other HOSA member, and my favorite part is just trying to convey that message and going along the journey of conveying that message that we are personable and we are willing to communicate with the HOSA members personally, directly, whatever it may be.
Lisa, thank you for asking this question. I think it's a really, really great question. Personally, I think the best part about being a state officer is the fact that a lot of us have really, really great friendships with one another. I mean, there are times when like me and Simon just send selfies to one another, and it's about, creating that bond with this team that you're working with. And I really appreciate, knowing these people, and throughout the year, it's going to be really great getting to know them even more and working with them. I think the best part about this is that, and also getting to serve, Cal-HOSA. There's a lot of really great things that are in store for this year, and I'm really looking forward to working not just with Cal-HOSA, but with all the members to get this done.
For me, my favorite part about being a state officer is really getting to connect with people, regardless of who they are. So within our state officer team, actually, the way that Vivian and I really connected was by sharing food at our training. And it really, really formed a bond, both emotionally and physically. And we like always Snapchat each other pictures of food and say, want to share. And that's the kind of bond that I also want to have with most of our members too. We're all equals in this organization, and we're all striving to reach the same goal. And so I really, really do like that we get the opportunity to connect with you all.
So one of my favorite things is just working with all the other officers and planning everything behind the scenes for you guys. Working on projects and our program of work, putting together social media posts, things such as what Vivian mentioned earlier about our secret project that we're going to be working on. I think those things are just so amazing, and it's so fun and cool to just be behind the scenes and be working on all these things that help the organization run so smoothly.
For me, my favorite part of being a state officer is basically like the opportunity it gave me to travel, to meet with new people, and just expanding my circle of people I know. So yeah.
I agree with Simon on this. When in my past 3 years in Xhosa, all the state officers seemed so far away metaphorically and sometimes even literally. And now I understand that the goal of the state officers is just to be able to connect with the members. And I really look forward to being able to explain that to the other members.
So just like Amanda, I love being behind the scenes and understanding how everything works, from posting on social media to setting up workshops for RLC. I also love the fact that I get to work with such a great team. I feel like we all clicked very, very early on and got to know each other, and we have a lot in common. And I think we really do enjoy working together.
So my favorite part about being a state officer is working on things that people wanted. So like at the meet and greet, a lot of people said that they wanted to have better communication, and which is one of the primary goals of this live stream. And I just love working on things that other people want to see in Xhosa.
The best part for being a state officer is actually talking and collaborating with my other fellow state officers and knowing that I'm making an impact on improving Cal-HOSA. When I started Xhosa in 9th grade, I saw there were some improvements to make, some changes to make, and I thought, will I ever get the chance of making those changes, collaborating with the officer team to make those changes? And now I have the opportunity, and this is the best part of being a state officer, is to help Cal-HOSA and make it.
So believe it or not, when I first started Xhosa, I was the most shy kid on the block. I couldn't even raise my hand in class. But Xhosa has really transformed me as a leader. And what I absolutely love about being a state officer is that I get to see that transformation in each and every one of you. I can see you guys being going from someone who's shy to someone who's super outgoing. And it's such an amazing experience that I'm a part of your journey, a part of your Xhosa journey. And I absolutely love making these lifelong friendships with my fellow state officers.
So that actually does conclude the questioning portion. That actually does conclude our live session. I just really want to give you all a huge thanks for joining us with this live session. This is California Xhosa's first live session, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. And I really do appreciate that everyone tuned in and asked their questions, because it means a lot to us, and I hope it means a lot to you, because us doing this is genuinely our way of conveying to you guys that we are willing to communicate with you, and we are trying to do our best to communicate with you. So look out on social media for updates on when the next Cal-HOSA live session will be, and keep in mind, we actually have really exciting news that's going to be divulged at our next live session. So be sure to keep an eye out on social media, because I promise you won't regret tuning in again. So that actually concludes today, guys. Thank you so much. We genuinely appreciate you being here, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.